What up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, everyone out there? All my patrons, military, active, inactive. Your boy Big Truck here loves you, gunning for you. King Conversations. Changed the name with a new look. Doing something different. Kicking off to the new year. Shout out to my girl, Miss Melanie King. Trump's in office, signing orders and doing things and we seeing people still crashing out. Not just crashing out, but just talking out the side of their ass. You might as well say time's up. But we're gonna play this clip and we're gonna have some fun with it on this day. I'm thankful and I thank everyone for chiming in. I know it's quite early on my side of the globe here on the West Coast. But without further ado, grab your shoulder pads and your helmet and let's get this work. Oh, you know me. I had to get my Hermosa ready. Let's get it.
Are you a dictator on day one?
No. I can't imagine even being called that. No, I believe in the sanctity of the vote. The Democrats didn't because they cheated like dogs, but I believe in the sanctity, and this was too big to rig. This last election was just too big to rig.
Remember when they were all saying Trump was going to be a dictator on day one? Well, my oh my. I don't see any dictatorship, do you? Looks like we all still have our freedoms. And in fact, looks like we have more freedoms. Now, you're probably wondering why I have the great whore of Babylon, Joy Taylor, on the screen. Well,
And Joy Taylor, yeah, we're gonna get to her. I'm gonna do some content on conversation and reviews on her. When you talk about people that sleep their way into the top, sleep their way into the industry, I wonder how her brother, Jason Taylor, feels about her conduct, her character, how she's behaving. I wonder how he feels about that. I got a lot of respect for Jason Taylor. One professional athlete to another, playing this sport. And my man's in him, Keyshawn, so and a few others. But let's continue.
one of the people that pushed this propaganda, even just a few days ago. She had the nerve. She is in the middle of a lawsuit accusing her of heinous things, sleeping her way to the top at Fox Sports. And not only that she was scheming, allegedly, to go after, if she didn't get her way, the man or probably all the men, but the man that she was sleeping with, the executive at Fox, if he didn't give her what she wants or she was done with him, well, she was going to mean it to him, accuse him of taking her against her will in order to gain power. Has she been fired? No. Has she been put on suspension for pending investigation? No. And she no longer has her boobs on display ever since this came out. As you can see, she's dressed very conservatively now. But take a listen to what she had to say, and then we're going to get more into what happened during the day and Trump signing different executive orders.
Dynasties, including Tom Brady and the Patriots, you have to be in that conversation. But it hasn't started yet.
Don't listen to Joy, y'all. Started.
I mean, yeah, you can talk nonsense if you want to. It's a free country for a couple more days. No. Coming up, Dak Prescott balled out.
Hey, before Melanie King say what she say, the body language. When it comes to female sports commentators, my opinion, some should stay in their lane. I understand at some point, you gotta have women that come in and liven up the show. If you're gonna do that, why don't you pick a woman that knows the sport? That's not gonna sit up there and be combative or battle someone who've mastered the sport that they've played, rather if it's football, NBA, and we see it. How you gonna argue me about a sport that I've played, that I've mastered, that you've never played? You're just an analyst. Totally two different things. You didn't suit up on Sunday mornings. You didn't wear the helmet and shoulder pads and go out there. So who the fuck are you to sit up there and battle me about a sport that I've mastered and played?
Kellen Moore was his offensive coordinator.
Did you see the guys looking like, what this heifer say? What this hoe say? Look, they're looking down like, did she really? I think that's Keyshawn Johnson and Paul Pierce. So Keyshawn looking over to the side like, is she for real? Look at his hands like, what? And then look, Paul Pierce, this woman is getting away with everything. And we've got to start asking questions why. But she's of no consequence right now. Let's get to the real meat of this story. All right, so President Trump signed a number of key executive orders. I have some videos of it. He brought the Oval Office, the desk to the stage. This is Trump does not care. He is doing what he has to do. Promises made, promises kept. So we're gonna go down that list, but I want to show you the video. But take a listen. This president says his executive orders will lead to a complete restoration of America. Here's what we know so far. All right. And then we go down the list, ending birthright citizenship, leaving the World Health Organization, renaming the Gulf of Mexico, revoking electric vehicle targets, reclassifying federal employees to making them easier to fire, declaring a national energy emergency, creating a policy recognizing only two genders, pausing the TikTok ban, rescinding 78 Biden-era executive actions, declaring a national border emergency.
Cannot be making this shit up. Cannot be making this up. They've done so much to discredit this man's character, and he still fought. He still fought, and he still came with it. And I know there's another thing circling around the internet right now about child support. Don't know how true that is, but right now, just the fact of it being mentioned has a large number of women in a fucking uproar. Allegedly states that if a man is paying child support, he can now claim the children on his tax return. That's the thing that's going around now. We don't know how true that is. But even if you flipped it, because you have some women out there paying child support, they too will have the right to file their children on their tax return. And the other party will not. So as of right now, it's being thrown in the air. People are talking about it. But we don't know if it's true or not. But just the fact of it being mentioned, boy, it has it has a, it has a large number of women in the uproar, and also what's being put into play. We already know Florida, Ron DeSantis signed a bill for, um, as far as alimony goes, no long-term alimony. And we're going to start seeing other states starting to fall suit of that, eliminating long-term alimony. And we're also going to see other states following what's going on in Tennessee, that at the birth, a paternity test is mandatory. A DNA test is mandatory because you also have fathers out there paying child support or fathering a child that's not theirs because the woman failed to tell her mate what she had done. So we're going to start seeing a lot of things changing in 2025. So prophecy's already been written. It's already been handed out. Things already been said and won and done. Blessings and curses going to be handed out to individuals. Let's get this work.
Issuing pardons for January 6th defendants, and withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement. So those are just some of the highlights. Now, check out this video of Trump. I mean, is it me or he? Even doing the whole campaign season, is this a new Trump? I think he's been through so much, like he never imagined. I mean, the man has been hammered in every possible direction, and he still stood tall. And I think also having the assassination attempts on his life, actually being shot or a bullet grazing his ear and barely missing it by a few millimeters. And that he is just, it's like he is just seeing a completely different vision. And we are getting a Donald Trump who does not give a damn about what anyone has to say.
Over here yet, sir. We'll have it for you back at the Oval. The first is the rescissions of 78 Biden-era EOs and presidential memoranda.
You want to call it out? You want to say it? You want to say it?
Oh, if you want me to, sir.
Why don't you say what I'm saying?
Sure. The first item that President Trump is signing is the rescission of 78 Biden-era executive actions, executive orders, presidential memoranda, and others. Thank you, sir. Thank you. The second item, President Trump, is a regulatory freeze, as you announced in your speech, preventing bureaucrats from issuing any more regulations until we have full control of this, the government and this administration.
Hey, he's not wasting no time. He's not wasting no time. He coming in full throttle. But see, again, the Democratic Party really showed their ass during this election season. They showed their ass. They showed the people what they really think about them. It takes me back to that Michael Jackson song, They Don't Really Care About Us. And they don't. And they didn't. You see? And then you got folk crashing out. You know, you got you got feminist women crashing out, talking shit. We're going to do this whole 4B. That shit didn't last long. Throwing shit up in the air. Having a pity party. But I guarantee you, you know, Trump is ready. Are you?
Sir?
Sir, can I have a pen?
The next item, sir, is a freeze on all federal hiring, excepting
say
the
can I have a
military
pen?
and a number of other excluded categories, again, until full control of the government is achieved and we understand the objectives of government going forward.
Could you imagine Biden doing this? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Any clowning. Any clown. No. Could you see Kamala Harris doing this? Hell to the no. I don't see Kamala Harris doing shit.
Sir, the next item, as you announced in your speech, is a requirement that federal workers return to full-time in-person work immediately. Thank you, sir. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly.
Not only he's signing that bill, you know what that means? That means that homeowners, those who pay property tax, all that's going to decrease. Renters, those that are renting homes, renting apartments, renting condos, those rents are going to decrease. By how much? Don't know, but it's going to decrease. That's going to be very helpful to the households that are out there. You know, so these are some really, really good, effective executive orders that he is signing right now. Let's continue.
Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir.
And also talking about the homeless crisis that we all suffer in different states. He's also going to sign an order for that, help getting the homeless people off the streets and helping getting the homeless people into programs and so forth. So what we're seeing right now, this ain't nothing. You know, this is not nothing. So it's good for our law enforcement and our military, active, inactive. You know, oh, he got something good for y'all too. Well, for us, because I'm still part of law enforcement as a CO. But when it comes down to it, it comes down to y'all try. So the Democrats try so hard to discredit this man. They tried their damnness, but it didn't work. However, they exposed their hand. Everything that the Democrat had done to the people, they done it in front of your face. They didn't have to do it behind your back. Like I said, you vote for whoever you want to vote for, you do, and you live however you want to live. You know, I still love you. I don't care who you are, what color you are, what background you come from. It's all love here. King Conversations. Kings have real conversations. We get down to the root of it all. Let's continue.
We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris Climate Treaty. Thank you, sir. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward.
So when we talk about YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, other platforms out there, Rumble, Kick, no, don't have to worry about no censorship, freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say. If you want to go on live and just say fuck, 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 you can say it and don't have to worry about getting censored. And it's also going to be helpful for a lot of other platforms out there getting their message out, letting their voices be heard. Whether you doing reaction videos or you just, speaking your mind, letting your soul speak and doing what makes you feel good. You have a large number of platforms out there that have real good information. Then you have some platforms out there that are bad. You choose which platform you choose to listen to and you choose to gravitate to and so forth. So this is a very good act that he's doing. This is a very good order. It's going to do a lot and help a lot for content creators. And yeah, it's a good thing.
And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen. Thank you very much, sir.
Now, he also did this from the Oval Office, not just on stage. And I wanted to bring you a couple things that that was not part of that video or you may not have heard about. So it says breaking, President Trump has just signed an executive order designating drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. They can now be targeted with lethal force by the U.S. military. This is huge.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
That means they're going to go to battle with the cartels. Now, when it comes down to it, it comes down to setting in stone and setting order. And however that plays out is how that plays out. I'm always going to be on the side of military and law enforcement because I work there. So I'm always going to be on side with that. I'm always going to be on side for what is right, especially our children, the babies. I'm always going to be on side for men doing good, men living right, men being masculine men. I'm always going to be on side for that. I'm always going to be on side for a feminine woman, a woman that's a team player, a woman that understands her role, a woman that's hardworking, a woman that is loving, a woman that is nurturing, a woman that uses wisdom and that is of good sense. I'm always going to be on board for that. I'm always going to be on board for what is right and contributing to what is right and good living. So we see how that's going to play out.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign. And Mexico probably doesn't want that. But we have to do what's right. They're killing our people. They're killing 250, 300,000 American people a year. Not 100, like has been reported for 15 years. It's probably 300,000.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartel.
Now, another order that he signed was one to repeal a provision allowing transgender troops to serve in the military. This goes hand in hand with recognizing, that there are only two genders. Now, look at this thing on the screen. This is clearly, I don't even know what this is. I don't know if it was a man that became a woman or a woman that became a man. It has a filter on, so I can't tell, but look at this. And just so you know, their little gender reassignment, all their surgeries, all those things are paid for by their health insurance, by the military pays for them to go through their gender reassignment.
Let me just make that clear, Melanie. That's a woman. All right, so we know that very, very clear. That is a woman. Let's continue.
While we can't get basic health care here, while many of us are struggling with that, they're allowed to do this because they decided, that they want to be the opposite gender. But I absolutely agree with a person like this. What exactly are they doing in the military? I don't know. But let's take a listen.
Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be serving at this period of time. Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, Botox, lip injections, hair lowering, literally cannot be more thankful to be alive now.
Well, I wonder if you're still going to be thankful. And it looks like, this was a man, I think, becoming a woman. Because it says Chrissy. So I guess he identifies as a woman now and is so thankful that it's getting Botox, injections, all type gender reassignment surgery, all.
I stood correctly. A man transitioning. At the end of the day, I feel that when it comes to the military, the proper gender should be in the military. If you're a man, going as a man. If you're a woman, going as a woman. That's just my opinion. That's always how the military has been.
All paid for by the United States military. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, another executive order was to terminate DEI positions and initiatives across all government agencies. Let me click this so you can see a little bit more. It says the Office of Management and Budget, with assistance from the Attorney General and the Office of Personnel Management, is tasked with ending all DEI-related mandates, policies, and activities within 60 days. Each federal agency terminate DEI offices, positions, and programs. Report to OBM about past activities, including any attempts to rebrand these initiatives to bypass the new policy. Assess and report the operational impact and cost of previous DEI initiatives. And a monthly meeting is set up to monitor compliance and progress towards implementing this new policy. And finally, I want to show you him signing the executive order regarding the January 6th prisoners and him giving them full unconditional pardons.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutations?
Full pardon.
Now, there's so many executive orders. I think I'm going to have to take each one in bite-sized pieces just to give you guys more information about it. But make sure you follow me on X. I will be.
But I'm also be covering it too as well. So you can always tune in, King Conversations. I'll be going live and breaking down these executive orders. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. And yeah, get ready. I'm ready. Are you? Until then, go be the best version of yourself. Your boy Big Truck loves you, appreciates you, and wouldn't have it any other way. Peace, love.